Hello, anybody, and thanks for tuning in to Monday Morning Handicapping. This is a racing preview edition, and I'm going to be taking a look at the Grade 2 Rodeo Drive from Santa Anita on October 5th, 2024. It's a mile and a quarter race on the turf for fillies and mares 3 years old and upward. It's the 8th race of the day. And for those that may not know, fillies and mares just means female horses. So if we just take a quick scan at this race, kind of see how the race shape projects the setup, that'll narrow down who I like and why. So look at horse number 1 of 7 in the race. And again, that's before any scratches. So as for now, there are 7 horses in the race. If we just take a quick glance at this horse's run lines, it does not like to be on the lead. Definitely about 5 to 10 lengths back is typically how it likes to start its races and then make a late bid to try to pass some of those tiring front runners. So in the one spot, it looks like we got a closer. Number 2, Sunset Glory, is third off of a layoff. First race here, you can see, was 3 lengths back of the leader. Next race, about 3, a little bit closer though. Early on, maybe let the leaders get away a little, and then came back and won. It's 3 for 5 lifetime. Horse is going pretty well. It's a major step up in class. It can handle the distance. It went a mile and 3/8 last time and won. And in that race, it actually ran down a lone leader, which is typically difficult to do. Again, it's not a grade 2 race last time out, but still a good effort for a horse that is lightly raced and could show improvement. Again, this horse doesn't like to be on the lead, but close to it. And third off, we'll see if it shows a little more speed to be closer to any hot pace in this race. The 3 horse is interesting. Going to a new trainer, gets the blinkers put on, so I don't know if that's going to change the tactic. Sometimes you think blinkers on, the horse is going to be more focused and want to go faster. Sometimes it gets horses to settle. So new trainer, it has raced at the track 3 times, and at the track runs about a mid-80s buyer. And in those 3 races, the first time it had a bad break and went well into the back and made a late close, almost won. Finished 8th, but only by 1 3/4 of a length. Next time at the track, it went to the lead and faded just at the end of the race, and was run down by a horse named Anisette, who has raced against a couple other horses in this race and beat them, most of them. And then the next race at Santa Anita kind of was mid-pack throughout and ran evenly, didn't really pass any horses, didn't really lose much ground, but an okay effort. Again, a mid-80s sort of buyer, and again, new trainer, blinkers on, coming back to the West Coast. I'm not really sure what to make of this one, whether it wants to be a front runner or a closer, but has the speed to be on the pace, so I figure it'll be mid-pack or closer to the front. 4, I Scream You Scream, the only 3-year-old filly in the race, definitely has a lot of speed, can get to the front, can actually concede the front as it did in her last race. Had the lead, let the favorite take the lead, and then she ended up running that horse down anyways in the Del Mar Oaks Grade 1 event, so very prestigious. This horse is 4 for 4 lifetime. Can't really knock it. Definitely the one to beat. The new distance is not really a concern, but the new distance is a question. Plus, this horse is 3 years old. Sometimes they need a little more time to mature physically or even mentally just to really know what they're doing. This horse, again, 4 for 4, looks like it knows what it's doing, but I guess it's a matter of conditioning and the new distance. And if any of the other front runners might give her a hard time on the front end, give her some pressure inside or out, and make her run a little bit faster and a little less relaxed, more anxious while it runs, which can tire the horse out. Looks like we got a front runner here, so just to quickly recap, closer, maybe on the pace, not quite sure, could be on the pace, could contest the speed, and speed here. 5, Beach Bomb, last time it ran back east, ran from a little bit off the pace, but back east they seem to run slow early on the grass and then really do their all-out sprint late. That's kind of what this horse did. Came up short. It's a step up in class to a grade 2 from its last race. Second off a layoff from coming overseas. I watched the replay. Nothing really outstanding caught my eye. With the East Coast running style, it may be a little bit too far behind early is what I fear, and going to have to make up a lot more ground than it did in its last race, so not my top pick there. Number 6, Hang the Moon, 4-year-old. Now it's raced 3 times as a 4-year-old, and if you look right here, you can see its speed figures are much more improved than when it was a 3-year-old. So this horse has improved as a 4-year-old, which you like to see. Has won 2 races out of its last 3 in its 4-year-old campaign, 1 second place finish behind a next out winner, which is solid. And this horse seems to be off the pace or a closer if need be. It won as a deep closer. It won sitting just off the pace. Came up a little short, mid pack or so. And this is one. This is actually, spoiler alert, the horse I'm gonna pick. And we'll come back to it after we take a look at this last horse. Another East Coast shipper, stepping up in class. It had run in grade ones before. A grade two, it took second. Again, these East Coast races, they tend to be slow early and then come with their all-out bids late. It won its last time out. Again, slow early, all-out bid late. I'm not sure if these horses will be able to sustain enough speed to catch some of the front runners in this race, especially that 3 or the 4 Ice Cream You Scream. If that horse runs its race, it's going to be really hard to run down. So these East Coast shippers running slow early and then doing their all-out bid, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to sustain that high rate of speed for that long late. They're going to really have to make up a lot of ground on that 4. But that brings me back to my 6 that I like. 6-1 on the morning line. Again, 2 for 3 as a 4-year-old, has improved. And what I liked about this horse is if you look at its fractions it's running, it's pretty much cruising at a decent high rate of speed. Again, it's got a win over the track. The cruising speed, by rule of thumb, for races that are a mile or more, a 24-second each quarter is just real general rule of thumb. So this horse was running a little bit quicker than 24 seconds first time out off the layoff, becoming a 4-year-old. Ran 24 and change here, just under 24 to this quarter, and then just under 23 here. So this horse actually picked up speed after running about 24s throughout. And that final quarter, albeit at lesser company, was really fast fraction. Santa Anita is known to be a really quick track, both dirt and turf. So take it with a grain of salt. But those fractions, the fact that the horse got much faster late in the race after running about 24s, I like to see that. Then it goes down to Del Mar. Again, 24 and a half to the first quarter, just under 24 for the next quarter, 24 and 3 to the next quarter, and then just under 23 for the final quarter. Impressive, didn't get the win, but again, was going faster later in the race after running about 24s throughout. Third off a layoff, the horse goes a little bit further, a mile and an eighth this time. 50 seconds to the half mile, so 25 and 25. This horse was well out of it, so those horses in front of him were going about 48 seconds. And then just under 24 to the next quarter, this horse ran. And then 23 to the next quarter, so he's getting faster, or she's getting faster, as you would expect going that slow early. And then the final eighth of a mile, or half of a quarter, was just over 11 seconds, which translates to roughly, you would say, 23 seconds, because they're going to get more tired if they run an extra eighth on top of that. So this horse just looks to have a lot of late kick, can have a nice high cruising speed, not too much slower than even the 4 has run, 47 and a half. About 112 to the 3/4 of a mile. This horse is a little over 112 to the 3/4 mile with that late kick, going the extra eighth of a mile, a full mile and a quarter. The style of this horse, I like going that distance more so than taking this 3-year-old going a mile and a quarter, just because I don't know if it's going to get pressure. It might have some maturing to do, and this horse is more likely, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's going to slow down more in that final eighth of a mile, whereas this 6 might keep going at its pretty quick clip late. For the 4 to slow down and the 6 to keep hanging on, I think it's going to make for a more exciting race to watch. But also I think the 6 has shown me enough to show that it can sustain. And just to put the cherry on top of it all, we're going to watch its last race. I'll talk about it as we watch it, but we'll take a look here, and I'll speed the video up for the video's sake. But so we have the 2 horse. Our horse is the 6 in the race tomorrow, but the 2, you see, it breaks out, bumps into this horse, takes back. Jockey's not really urging him to or her to do much, just trying to find a nice spot, cruising here, stays near the rail to save ground, so it's not running wide, not running further than it has to. Sitting back here with the blue cap, blue shirt, pretty smooth sailing, no trouble, just out in the clear. These leaders are running 24 and a half, which I expect about that much pace for the Rodeo drive. Maybe even a little bit faster, and this horse just easily chugging along in the back. And we're going to keep a note on this 3 to its outside later in the race. He's or she's going to play a factor. Another 24 flat to the next quarter mile. Now you can see the 2 in back is starting to pick it up pretty easily, but she's boxed in right here, nowhere to go, so the jockey's got to ask her to just kind of maintain. Still nowhere to go. She's trying to pick it up a little bit. You'll see her head kind of toss a little. The jockey's just holding the reins, saying not yet, not yet. And now you can see the pace start to pick up. R2 is going to follow this one through the hole. It does get a ground saving trip, but as they enter the stretch, you'll see the horse has nowhere to go. And remember, I said keep an eye on this three. This three gets a lot of momentum coming down the outside. R2 is stuck here on the inside, nowhere to go yet. Jockey's just waiting for room. Finally gets room. This three on the outside looks like it has all the momentum, but once the two gets clear, just kicks away. Does not let the three go by. Passes the one to its inside. Does well on the gallop out too. Not I don't know horse flesh by the eye that well, but you like to see it kind of keep up with the other horses out in front of the gallop out. So this horse, feeling good after the race, not tired, doesn't need to stop and slow down or catch its breath. So I like to see that. So again, if we watch this horse right here, looks like it has momentum, gets in the clear, and the acceleration just does not let the three go by. And I think with the added distance, the horse's acceleration late after cruising just bodes well for this horse. The added distance, yeah, I think 6-1 is a fair price. If the horse is much shorter, I would not bet it, but I would kind of just be happy that the public is also seeing what I'm seeing, and maybe I will play this horse in horizontals, which are, you bet the race before it and parlay it with this race, a daily double or a pick three for some of you that don't know. If anyone doesn't know how the horizontal wagering works, leave a comment and maybe I'll do a quick video of some of the wagers. But yeah, number 6, Hang the Moon, 6-1. The trainer has 3 horses in this race and is a good turf trainer. Is ice cold right now, 1 for 23, but the law of averages, this trainer should get back to the winner's circle. And so yeah, that's my case for number 6, Hang the Moon, 6-1 tomorrow in the Santa Anita Rodeo Drive, the Grade 2 event. Thanks for watching and good luck, everybody.